Howdy soul family, how are y'all doing? My name is Shelby, welcome to the channel. I am bringing you this space to spread love, light, positivity, and raise the overall vibrational frequency. I wanted to bring you a video showing you some products, things that have really helped me in my health journey, that have changed my life, my overall well-being, and things that are worth sharing and that will help you. So I have 7 items. It's not a lot, but I wanted to start. So apple cider vinegar, there was like a huge health craze over it about weight loss results. I will say that I really have never, maybe I have. I never really used it to lose weight. I just realized the health benefits of it, such as reduced bloating, lowers your blood sugar levels when you consume any kind of sugary food. If you have diabetes or pre-diabetic, this is a good thing. And when I get a really bad stomach ache, Tums do the opposite of help your body. I mean, they might relieve the pain, but they actually block nutrient absorption, and they reduce your stomach's ability to digest and break down whatever is in your stomach that is causing you disease. So raw organic Bragg's apple cider vinegar, highly recommend this brand. It acidifies your stomach and allows it to break down anything, and it reduces bloating. And I mix it with lemon juice and sparkling water when I have a stomach ache, and it doesn't take long before it's gone. I swear by it. It is the best remedy I've ever discovered. And just anytime I just really don't feel great with my digestion or with what I ate, I will consume some of that. And it does take some time to get used to the flavor. And if you are going to take it, do 1 to 2 tablespoons. I would start with 1 tablespoon or less than that, but dilute it with at least 8 ounces of water per tablespoon. Because it is so acidic, it can ruin your teeth. The acidity can break down the enamel in your teeth. So definitely dilute it, but it's a lifesaver. So, and this is already diluted in itself, but I wouldn't recommend. Just do to your teeth, and don't take more than two tablespoons. It will disrupt your gut lining. So highly recommend that product. It's been a lifesaver in so many instances. And if I'm consuming something if I went to a birthday party and I had a piece of cake, if I have apple cider vinegar, I feel so much better afterwards because it reduces your blood sugar levels and it just aids in the digestion process, because it acidifies your gut. To get technical, it increases your bile in your pancreas, which is necessary for the breakdown of foods, and increasing your stomach acid to break down everything. So I'm gonna leave it there. And if you are looking for more nutritional health advice, I will recommend searching up Dr. Eric Berg for any of this stuff. Me personally, for mental health reasons, I am vegan, but his information is wonderful. And I think people have experienced a lot of success with his way of dieting. or his nutritional advice. So Dr. Eric Berg is where I learned about this. And then so the second product I have is Hue Back to Human dark chocolate. I wish I have this camera set to where it's mirrored, so it's probably backwards when you look at it. I will link everything below, but it is Hue dark chocolate. It's organic, no refined sugar. It has coconut sugar, which is significantly less sweet than regular sugar. It doesn't spike your insulin blood sugar levels as high as regular refined sugar. And it's a vegan chocolate, so amazing. I recommend it. It has the hazelnut butter. I also like the one with cashew butter. It's just if you're trying to wean off sweets, that chocolate will help you. And then the third thing I recommend is dates, Medjool Dates. I tend to lean towards organic or just whatever I can find, but whenever you're having a sweet craving, just consume dates. It does not spike your blood sugar levels as high as refined sugar or any sweets in general. I mean, there was a test done on someone's blood sugar who had the patch, and it shows on their phone the blood sugar spike, if any, and it rarely, after consuming I think like 5 or 6 dates, it rarely spiked his blood sugar. So that's a good natural way to wean off of sugar or just satisfy your cravings. I actually lost 70 pounds total, and then I went back up for reasons regarding like medication and stuff, but I lost 70 pounds because I cut out refined sugar and replaced it with dates, went vegan. I will also shout out Impossible Beef, the little blocks of Impossible Beef, frozen soy, plant-based meat, right? I made a lot of spaghetti sauce with that. That helped me a lot, and I'm back on the journey of weight loss, and I don't use a scale typically. However, when I got to a point where I was like, wow, I've come a long way, I finally jumped back on the scale and I was 70 pounds down. And as of now, I think from where I started initially last year, I'm now only 30 pounds down, but I think I have gone down more since then, I will say. But if not, you know, it's not the end of the world. I struggle, we all struggle. However, I think it's more important to listen to your body and get to a place where you are healthy mentally, where you are active and just you feel good. Feeling good is the ultimate goal as far as health goes in my mind, because you know, I've looked really good. I've had a flat stomach, I've had abs. I was super skinny back in the day. However, I did not eat. I really just did not eat. I would go on these crazy fasts where it wasn't even a fast, it was just like almost borderline anorexia. I've been down the road of not so healthy, and I would choose this body and this lifestyle versus starving myself and still feeling like I'm overweight because I'm just not satisfied. Sorry, my hair's like soaking wet. I literally showered and I was like, I can't end the day without making a video, at least one, right? I might make another one, so check out my channel if you were so kind to do so and join the Sheham 3 Soul Tribe. It's a cool vibe. We're gonna talk about a lot of fun stuff, but yeah, so I got 4 more products. I'm gonna go with my next absolute favorite. I know you probably can't see it, read it. It's called Himalaya Boutanique, and like I said, I will link these below. So this is a fluoride-free toothpaste with hydroxyapatite. Now, I did some research, and hydroxyapatite is actually what remineralizes your teeth. Dentists will tell you it's fluoride. However, when I used fluoride toothpaste, I would go to the dentist with up to 13 cavities at one time, supposedly, right? I've had so much dental work, and ever since I started using fluoride-free toothpaste, I haven't had a single cavity filling. In fact, I've had dental work reversed where I had 2 root canals pulled, and now I don't even really go to the dentist anymore because I don't trust the dentist. Let's not get into that conversation, but I recommend fluoride-free Hydroxyapatite toothpaste. Remineralizes, whitens. It is the best toothpaste I've ever used in my life. And they have other types of toothpaste. They have turmeric. It does a good job at whitening. However, turmeric is completely unnatural, so I don't recommend that one. But they have an activated charcoal one I really recommend. I just chose this one because of the hydroxyapatite with the remineralization ingredient in there. So it's the best toothpaste. I love it. Also, don't forget to floss. That's important too. Okay, so now the biggest reason, or the 2 biggest reasons I made this video is, one, a moisturizing product. I have another one as well, but I'm gonna be weird. No, I'm just kidding. So I've used a ton of it. It's raw organic shea butter. Is it organic? Whatever. It's raw shea butter. I don't think it's organic, but it's by Shea Moisture, so I'll just show you one more time. If you can find organic, that's cool too, but this brand is what's up. I was out in the sun for hours on a surfboard the other day, and this stuff, it is like, it is such a lifesaver. I'm gonna put a little bit on my face just because I'm trying to prevent peeling. Also, it helps with scar healing if you have acne. Definitely recommend putting it on any kind of acne scars, anything. It's the best skin moisturizer in the world. Now, this is the best hair moisturizer in the world. I never thought I would find something that would repair my hair back to its normal health, normal state. I will say that this, I just touched my hair. It'll make your hair really oily. I'm clean. I was clean before I even showered today. I just had oily hair and it freaked me out. So I went, showered, and here I am with wet hair. It looks weird, but we're just gonna pretend like it's not there. Now with this, I have this Acacia Castor Oil. It's organic. This one is. You can find it at Sprouts, Whole Foods, Natural Grocers. This is just a small 4 ounce. This has lasted me, I've had it for almost 6 months. I will just literally, and it's really sticky. It's almost like putting honey in your hair, I will admit. But I think it works a little bit better if your hair is damp. So I just squeeze it in my hand, and I actually will put quite a bit. It feels like a lot, but your hair will look like it's soaking wet. And I just recommend putting it up in your hair tie and leaving it in there for at least 1 hour. I've done up to 4 hours, and that's when I noticed like the best results. My hair was becoming so dry and thin, and I think it had to do with the shampoo I was using, and then I was on some kind of medication and it wasn't really working out, so I switched it up. But my hair was getting so dry and brittle, and that's not like me. I mean, if you can tell, my hair is really thick and it's usually really healthy, but I will also say that I have not cut my hair in 3 years, not even a trim. And this, you can't even tell. You put this on your ends, on your scalp, leave it in there for, I mean, as long as you feel like you need to. An hour will do a good job, but I had it in my hair for at least 4 hours the other day and washed my hair, and after it dried, I was like, oh my gosh, you know, it's back. My hair is back. It was just fully restored. It felt like a miracle. So just to recap, So I went over the dates, apple cider vinegar, the chocolate, the toothpaste, and then the 2 moisturizers, and then the Impossible beef. I'll link these all below. But the last thing I will mention that has also saved me in many instances is oil of oregano. If you can't tell already, these are like really healthy, holistic remedies. I'm all about it because I do believe that nature heals, and these are just, I consider these life hacks, especially oil of oregano. Now, anytime you're starting to get a sore throat, or you feel like you may have, basically it's a natural antibiotic, so if you feel like you may have some kind of infection, and if you're like me, antibiotics make you uneasy, well, this is actually more powerful than an antibiotic. It will tell you on the back, this is extremely potent. You do not want to put it on your tongue or in your mouth without diluting it. I recommend diluting it with like olive oil, some kind of oil, or even water, doesn't matter. But it is so powerful and strong, it burns your mouth. And so it says take 6 drops at a time. So the max I will go is 8 drops, and I'll put it in a little bit of olive oil, but you have to build up your tolerance to it because it's really powerful. So if you're feeling like you're getting a sore throat, you're getting sick, you're fighting an infection, a cold, whatever, even honestly, I will say, okay, I'll mention this in a second. Yeah, take some of this and do it for 3 to 5 days. If you're new to it, I wouldn't recommend going for too long. Probably 3 days, 6 drops a day. Maybe multiple times a day. Let me check. Yeah, 6 drops daily. That's the recommended amount. So I wouldn't go anything over that because it's super powerful. It's a natural antibiotic. Yeah, and so research was done on this, and it's actually more powerful, more potent than an antibiotic, than a round of antibiotics prescribed by a doctor. This is thebomb.com. If I'm having a sore throat, I will just take a couple drops of this one day. The next morning I wake up and the sore throat's basically gone, but I'll do it for 2 to 3 days. And I don't really get sick ever. I also recommend ginger in your smoothies, or just in your tea, or how else do you consume ginger? If you cook with it, that's fine. I just like to get raw organic chunks and just ingest the entire chunk in a smoothie, preferably because it's really spicy. Or ginger shots, those are cool too. I just think there's something about the pulp and the fiber, it all kind of works together. But if you get the juice of it, I used to do ginger shots and I loved them. So let's see. Okay, so I had to have 2 root canals removed. I had one removed, and my health was declining. I was becoming really fatigued. I could not figure out what was wrong, and the universe, God, brought me to a video or a documentary called The Root Cause. This is a free documentary on YouTube that was actually banned from Netflix. Imagine that, right? It was banned from Netflix, and it talks about the toxicity and the dangers of root canals. So a lot of people have root canals, and it doesn't really happen with everyone, but I personally have a really highly sensitive body. So I was noticing I was just getting really fatigued, and it was interesting. So I had a root canal pulled. I had to argue with the dentist for like 45 minutes, and I didn't beg him, but I told him he wanted to do some kind of treatment in addition to the root canal, and I told him, I was like, yank it out. And the friend I was with at the time, after the whole procedure was done, he was like, I'm really proud of you because you stood your ground. It took like 45 minutes to convince this dentist to just rip the damn thing out. He did it because I was not backing down. I'm like, you don't understand. I trust people who expose the truth and do the necessary research and take the time to get to the root cause, which is the name of the documentary, the root cause of the symptom, not just treating the symptom, treating the root cause. So I got that root canal ripped out, and I'll tell you, I had another dentist, years later, I had another dentist convince me that getting a root canal was the best thing. I let this dentist, another dentist, for some reason, I thought it was like the original dentist who did this because he didn't do a good job at the root canal, so it failed. I had another dentist do root canal on me. Same thing, I just had it ripped out. About a year later, because I started noticing the same symptoms, and these symptoms were worse than the first one. And I mean, it could have been related to my job, because I'll be honest, the last 2 jobs I've worked have been so taxing on my body, and such a toxic environment. So it was a combination of the two. But I had the root canal removed, and I will say that after the procedure, I did notice, like, driving home after having a tooth ripped out, I actually felt like, for the first time, going for a walk or a run right after it. And, you know, I've been recovering. My body is not, like, miraculously recovered, but I went through a period. I quit my job because I was so fatigued and depressed. Quit my job, and I spent about 2 full weeks in bed. I mean, I was in the dark for like 2 weeks because I just it sounds so sad, but I was done for. I mean, no energy, depressed. I'm gonna leave it there. Depressed, just feeling awful. So I had an appointment scheduled, and after it was taken out, you know, it took about 2 to 3 weeks for it to fully heal up. And yeah, it healed up, and I've been working out since. I've been stretching, doing yoga twice a day, if not 3 or 4 times a day, because honestly, getting on the yoga mat and like moving my body feels so good. So anyway, I've been through it. But I will say, the reason I even started that story is because something that gave me a lot of relief before the whole procedure was I started using this as a natural antibiotic, because what happens is you have a dead organ that is in your jawbone. So it's a dead organ. It's basically, it's infected. Your body is fighting this infection. You won't really recognize it right away, but after a while your health starts to decline, and it depends on the person. Not everyone experiences this. I've just read comments. Not everyone experiences this. However, this root cause documentary has saved so many lives, including my own. So, colloidal silver mixed with oregano oil. It brought me back to a place where I felt like I was better. I was doing better. But so I was combining the two for about 7 days, and I had to have surgery because the dentist, they didn't want to rip the tooth out. They convinced me to spend tons of money. That's all they want. They convinced me to spend more money to get a surgery that will basically stop the infection from affecting the rest of your body. I still trusted them. Twice in a row I trusted them, and finally, once I had it removed, I've been better. I will say, when I got the first one removed, it took me months before I started noticing, like, my energy is back. I want to go for a run every morning, work out first thing. About 3 or 4 months is when I felt like I was fully recovered and back to myself, because your body has to repair, or it has to heal itself, right? So it's been a month, about a month now since I had this one pulled, and I expect a few more months before my body is fully recovered and healed and back to its normal state. But before that first surgery, after the root canal was done, I was taking this with colloidal silver. So 3 droppers full of colloidal silver, yes, under my tongue, 7 days, in addition to 6 drops of this a day. Just once of those a day. And I started to recover. I felt my body like fighting this infection. I got the surgery. I think it was a temporary relief. And then before I knew it, I was declined worse. Worse, because I thought, oh, the surgery, like that should work. You know, I'm going to just trust this endodontist and dentist. They're working together. Wonder what kind of car they drive, right? Like Teslas and whatever. It's like, you're hurting people for a paycheck, and I don't trust dentists. I take care of myself. Himalaya Boutanique, I recommend it. Another one I do say I have noticed that I kind of like is the Hello fluoride free. That one's not bad. I do like the grittiness of it, but I have been using this for years, and the dentist, I literally went to the dentist and he just didn't find a single cavity. I was shocked. And this has happened numerous times where the dentist will do x-rays and they're like, you're good, you know, besides that root canal. Now it's gone, and honestly, I'm getting better every day. So these are the products. This is it, right? I recommend these highly. I'm rooting for your healing journey. I am praying, like, if you are going through something, you are going through a health crisis, I encourage you to dig deep, do the research, look up Dr. Berg, find the root cause, not just treating the symptom. Yeah. I've worked with doctors. However, I just, it doesn't take me long before I'm just like, you know what? I'd rather, you know, just quit the pills and get to the root. I keep saying the root cause, but get to the overall, the big problem, the root of the situation. Yeah, healing is not easy, but it's so worth it. Nature and food are medicine. Doctors, they really work for, they work collectively to drain your paycheck. You know, if I were diagnosed with cancer right now, this is the last thing I'm going to say. I know this video is getting a little long, but if I were to be diagnosed with cancer right now, I would not, first of all, I don't even go to the doctor, but I would not go through chemo. I would cut out all processed foods, especially refined sugar. Cancer cells feed on sugar. No, the hydrogenated oils, nothing fried, just nothing processed. I would go fully vegan, which I'm already doing. I'm already fighting this. I'm already getting to the place of being fully functional. I encourage you to just go on a 7-day raw plant-based diet. See how you feel. Our bodies are electrical, and you know, here's a pineapple in a pot, you know, like we have electrical bodies, and fruit and nature is electrically charged. A dead animal has no electricity running through it. It's dead, right? It's just dense matter, dead matter your body takes 18 hours to digest meat, whereas an apple is digested in minutes, you know? Like, choose your battles, heal your body, and go on the journey within and do your research. YouTube is a great resource. Books are good resources. The Medical Medium, Anthony Williams, he has wonderful information on healing. Fasting, you know, when you starve. So I'll go back to when I said about having cancer. If I were to be diagnosed with cancer or have suspicions that I have cancer, and I will also say, if you have root canals, whether they're failed or not, whether you realize or not that they're failed, if you have root canals, they have been linked to breast cancer in this research study. So there's a meridian tooth chart. Each tooth is connected to a different organ in your body. But root canals, especially the molars, have been shown to be linked to breast cancer. Teeth are living just as any bone in your body. It's all connected. Your whole body is connected. So if I had cancer, I would stop eating food. Truthfully, I would stop eating food. Which is way easier said than done, but I would consume apple cider vinegar probably. You know, honestly, this is what I would do. Filtered water with no added chloride, sodium chloride, no added salt, or just filtered water, reverse osmosis, not tap because it has chlorine in it. Just fully fast my body. Honestly, I mean, I would be plant-based. I'm honestly trying to figure this out because I've thought about it. I'm like, I wouldn't see a doctor for one. I would begin drinking tons of water, detoxing my body, flushing my body of toxins. When you go into a fasting state, after 24 to 72 hours, depending on how toxified your body is, between 72 and 24 hours, your body will jump into a state of autophagy, which is where your cells are optimally functioning. So just water. Flush your cells, get your cells to function optimally to fight the cancer cells. Don't feed them sugar, because that's what they eat, is sugar. It's amazing how every single food on our shelves has added sugar. Your mayonnaise, your ketchup, clearly. Every food on your shelf has added sugar. Honestly, I would fast for at least 3 to 5 days. And then from there, I would just begin drinking like lemon water or lime water, preferably lime because it has less sugar. And I might not even add the lemon or lime juice, but just drink lots of water. Go on an alkaline diet. That's where your body enters a state of healing. Search up Dr. Sebi food list on Google, YouTube, anything. It'll give you a list of alkaline foods. Basically just alkalize your body, detoxify it, and fast to get to a state of autophagy and detoxification. So I'm not a nutrition expert. However, I love studying nutrition. I want to become a nutritionist, so maybe that's the next step, right? Yeah, check out these products. I'm gonna link them down below. I love you. Sorry for ending this abruptly. I do love you though, and I'm rooting for your healing journey. We all have it in us to heal. This is my advice. If you are going to look up Dr. Eric Berg for any kind of healing advice, nutrition advice. Personally, I would look up his information as far as nutritional deficiencies and what each vitamin and mineral is like linked to. That's what I do if I'm having like a twitching eye. You know, he said vitamin D deficiency. I said no problem. I spent forever in the sun and I'm doing better. Just little things. Yeah, I mean, if you want to try the keto diet, by all means. It doesn't work for me because I'm so insensitive. I become really severely depressed when I eat beef. Usually beef, honestly. So in Hinduism, I'm going all over the place, just last thing. So it says they identify cows as being the most closely related animal to having a human soul. Where they found this out, I have no clue, but I will say I have consumed meat this past week and I've been in a great mental state. However, after consuming meat, I woke up and I did not want to do anything. I did not even want to live. That was the day before yesterday. Sadly. I mean, it was an experiment in my mind. I was like, I'm just going to test this theory again. So I did it. And I literally just did not want to live. However, I woke up, consumed some chocolate. It turned on the dopamine receptors, right? It hits the dopamine receptors, releases dopamine, gets the body moving. I got out in the sun, went to the beach, absorbed some magnesium in the water, and just had a field day. And, consume some raw plant-based food to get my body back to a normal functioning state. So, when you're consuming pain and fear, you become that pain and fear where you begin to think negative things. We got mosquitoes. Okay. But yeah, raw, plant-based, alkaline diet, Dr. Sebi. If you need some nutritional advice, look up Dr. Eric Berg. If you're really desperate for a weight loss procedure or diet, keto is probably the way to go. However, me personally, I don't believe in causing suffering to other beings on the planet to receive my nutrition whenever nature already has all the medicine inside of it. That's alive, not dead. Okay, leave it there. I love y'all. Check it out. Yeah, check out my channel. I'm ending it. Love y'all. Peace.